Yo, my name's Aaron. I've been teaching guitar for more than 16 years to countless students, and these are the first ever guitar chords that I will teach to any new student. The names of the chords that we're going to learn are E minor, A sus2 and D sus2. Now, it's a nice zoomed camera angle here. However, what I am going to do in this video is kind of turn to the side so you can really see my fingers at this angle. So I'm going to show you the front and side angles so you can really get to grips with exactly what the fingers are doing. So with the E minor chord, you're going to take the first finger and you're going to place it on fret 2 of the A string, okay? And then you're going to take the second finger and place it on fret 2 of the D string. All right, and then once you've got both of those fingers in place, ideally you should be able to strum all 6 strings and get a nice sound. However, what might be happening is this. All right, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, on the strings that you're fretting, are you pushing down right onto the fingertips and are you pushing down hard enough? That's the first question to ask. Can you get those clear fretted notes? You want to be able to tell whether it's the fretted notes that aren't clear or whether it's the open strings that aren't clear or whether it's both, okay? You need to know the difference between those. And the second point is this. Let me turn around to the side here. So what you don't want to do is flatten your fingers like this, because if your fingers are flat, you're actually covering all of the strings and you're not going to get any sound out of them. They're not going to be able to vibrate. Can you hear all of that? It doesn't sound very good. So what you need to do is arch the fingers and bring the wrist forwards. Look how arched my fingers are now. I can actually get my picking hand finger through there. And what that means is all the other strings are able to vibrate. And you're going to get a clear E minor chord. So this kind of hand angle and this kind of finger archedness is what you want to be striving for, all right? On each of the chords that we do. So let's learn the next chord now. So that one was E minor. The next chord is A sus2. Dead simple from here. All you do is take the 2 fingers that you've already got down on the frets and you're going to move them down towards the floor by 1 string, okay? So now you're on the middle 2 strings with those 2 fingers. But when you strum the chord, you're not going to strum the low E string. Ignore that. Just strum from the A string downwards. So you're strumming 5 strings, okay? And once again, my fingers, look at them, they're arched. They're not flat like this. They're arched and up like this with the wrist coming forward, and I'm on the tips of the fingers for these chords, okay? And that's how I get a clear sound. If I flatten them out, once again, we're going to get only a couple of notes. It's just not going to work very well. Once you've got those first 2 chords, what you might want to try doing is actually just transitioning between them. And this is called chord changes, all right? When people talk about chord changes in relation to beginner guitar stuff, what they mean is just literally switching between 2 chords, just going from one finger placement to the next, if you like, one finger arrangement to the next. So you go from E minor, give it a strum, A sus2, give it a strum, back to E minor, give it a strum, back to A sus2, give it a strum once again. And that will be your chord changes for those 2 particular chords. So the next chord we're learning is a D sus2. We're going to take that fretting hand first finger once again and place it, this time, on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then we're going to this time take the 3rd finger of the fretting hand and place it on fret 3 of the B string. That means you're going to have like a loose spare finger in the middle there. And there is a reason for that. And that is because later on, when you come to learn a full D major chord, you're going to need that finger. So I'm actually doing you a favor here by telling you to use fingers 1 and 3. Because if you use fingers 1 and 2, then you'd have to like rearrange everything when you come to learn D major, which you inevitably will. Okay, so once we've got these 2 fingers down, once again, make sure the wrist is forward, you're on the tips of the fingers, make sure the fingers are arched, okay? And then you're going to strum 4 strings this time. You're not going to strum the low E, and you're not going to strum the A, you're just going to strum the 4 thinnest strings like so. And that is a D sus2 chord. Now with each of these chords, you probably want to try getting one note at a time, because as a beginner you might not be able to hear individually which strings are ringing out, so it might sound something like this, you know. You just gradually bring your pick through all the strings and make sure that each one is as clear as the last. If you want a strumming pattern that goes with these 3 chords, check out the video that's on your screen now. And also don't forget to check out the link in the description for the free beginner guitar survival kit.